Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest and most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and on occasion, make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Open Relationships Have Boundaries? Right. And guys, this story is coming from the perspective of a guy. Sounds like he's relatively young. And long story short, he agreed to have an open relationship with his girlfriend because he felt like her needs weren't being met. And obviously, if you read between the lines, she obviously manipulated the situation that this guy would go along with it. But you're going to see where he has it that she pretty much doesn't want him to have his fun rolling in the hay. However, it's perfectly okay for her to do it. And you're going to see that this guy naively goes along with this, and it doesn't end too well for him. And so this is just a story out there showing that these open relationships, open marriages do not work, and guys should never go along with it. And you're going to see, guys, just how she lets him know about it when she has her little fun roll in the hay and all that. It's just definitely going to make you shake your head. So definitely lessons learned here. Anyhow, starts off, I was living with my girlfriend on a 1-year lease during COVID. And when things got really stressful, I noticed we weren't having relations, and I felt like it was hurting the relationship. I was feeling insecure, so we battled around the idea of an open relationship. Whose idea was this really? Think about it. Guys should never, ever, ever agree to this. If you do, if she even asks about it, it's over. You understand this, guys. A lot of guys don't. Move on. And again, you're not like you're married or anything. That'd be awful too. Move on. She can date somebody else. But no, guys don't ever realize this until it's too late. We both downloaded Tinder and Bumble, and we discussed matches we got and conversations that we'd have. When I left for a vacation with some college friends, I asked if I could flirt and maybe sleep with someone, to which she said, only the dudes. And that was understandable, but nothing ended up happening on that vacation. Well, I didn't get the impression this guy was into guys. I think he just, obviously she said that because obviously she knows he's not going to be into dudes, and just obviously nothing happened there. But she's the one that said, okay, we're going to open a relationship, because she deep down doesn't want him touching it, having fun with anybody else. But her, on the other hand, we didn't really bring up the open relationship thing, which we were still on the fence with, for a while after that. A month later, it's the day after her birthday, and I'm working all day. She says she's having a friend coming over, and I'm like, all right. Define friend. I figured it's one of her high school girlfriends that had been coming over lately. I come home at the end of a 10-hour shift, and she excitedly greets me at the door saying, oh my God, I had a Tinder date over, not a friend, and it went really well, and we effed. Oh yeah, that's something I would really want to hear after coming home from a 10-hour workday. I get to the door, I open it up, and there's my lady letting me know that she was so excited that she just effed some other dude. Meanwhile, this guy wasn't allowed to do it when he was on vacation, away from their area and all that. Usually if someone's in an open relationship, you could do it when you're far away, the people you know don't see it. Oh, no, that wasn't okay if he did it, but it was perfectly okay for her to do it, and she had to rub it in this guy's face. But it gets worse. It was seriously the first thing out of her mouth. Trust me, there were plenty of other things in her mouth before you got home. She saw my mortified expression, and when I asked what happened, I learned the stranger she'd never before mentioned came into our apartment, made advances on my significant other, and effed her on the bed we shared until he did his business inside her without a condom. On their bed, in his apartment when he's going to be coming home anytime soon, no protection. Dude, it's over. It's over. She's a lowlife. For many, many reasons. She was over the second she brought this thing up, which obviously I guarantee it was her idea. But now this, and this disrespect, and no protection, what does that say? Piece of garbage. I told her I thought this was a friend, and she said he was a friend from Tinder, and it just happened. No, it did not just happen. He didn't just magically appear and do his business and all that. It was well planned. Just happened my ass. And she said, I thought it was okay. Bullshit. There was no discussion with me beforehand. No mention of this Corey dude ever before. And we would always tell each other about the people we were talking to. And she didn't even wash the sheets afterwards or had the consideration to put what she did more gently. Dude, she has no respect for you. She certainly doesn't care about you. And she doesn't want to be in this relationship. So she's deliberately sabotaging it. But guys, you're going to see here that he's kind of stuck with her for a little while. And I'll get into that more. She knew I'd been feeling insecure about not being sexual enough. That was the whole reason for the open relationship idea in the first place. She doesn't care. I was shaken to the core. We were 3 months into a year-long lease, and I broke up with her that night. So he moved in with his girl, this piece of garbage girl. I tell guys all the time on my other channel, don't move in with your girlfriend. The only time you should do it is after you've been with her for years, and I mean years, and you know her inside and out, no pun intended, about how she is, her personality and all that, and only if you intend on getting married, which I don't agree with in today's world, but people are going to do it anyway, but only then to do the final test drive before you actually walk down the aisle and say, I do. But just moving in with each other just for the sake of moving in with each other, to save on expenses, now this guy's stuck with her. He can get out of it, but it's going to cost him. So I broke up with her that night. She had a bad habit of making me feel like crap before that, but seeing her so excited to proclaim that she effed someone else really took the cake. She doesn't care about you at all. The worst part of all this is the painful situation was born from an honest intention to meet my significant other's S-word needs. But we clearly weren't on the same page, and her blatant disregard has left scars on me that are going to take a long time to heal. And there was the 9 months after that of the living out the lease together in a one-bedroom apartment. He says, it's been immensely helpful to read other people's thoughts on the situation. Thanks so much for taking the time to read. Now, there are some, I love sharing comments that people have on these types of stories. I'll do that in a moment. But my opinion here is, yeah, she doesn't give a crap about you. And obviously, I guarantee she brought it up or orchestrated things that maybe he would bring it up. But notice that he had the opportunity to go out of town and play along and have fun, but she didn't want him to do that. So, okay, he respected that. Then later on, they're not talking about it. He comes home one day and she says, oh, yippee skippy, guess what I just did? And the first thing out of her mouth. Now, and they did their business on your bed, and she didn't clean the sheets, and no protection. What does that say about her? Get out of there. Done. Do whatever you have to do to get out of that lease. Even if it costs you a couple months to get out of it, I don't care what. You cannot live with this girl anymore. Okay? She's garbage. She's going to wear you down. Bad situation, but let this be a lesson to this guy and anybody else that thinks that getting into an open relationship is a good idea. It is doomed. The only way it's an okay idea is if both parties were both into that alternative lifestyle, if you will, prior to the relationship. Maybe that's how they met, and they were both into it, that type of thing. But if they were monogamous beforehand and then just one day, one party, can go both ways, but usually it's the woman who brings it up, wants to do this, it's over. Walk. You're gone, because it's not going to go well for you. Trust me on this. You can see right here. If you stick around with it and you're afraid to break up with her because you want to lose her, she's going to lose more respect for you, and it's going to get worse. Like that. Right there. And, of course, the lesson of don't move in with your girl. Now, here's a few comments, because they're always fun to share. One guy says, your problem is you have ethics, a moral compass, and you openly and honestly communicated with your partner. You treated her with respect. Her problem is she uses opportunity to cheat with permission. Also, she and that dude are gross. Who are these people raw dogging on each other on the ONS? I don't know what that means. Not really judging, OP. I just got burned because I was playing with fire in a similar situation. I was mono dating a non-mono. I accepted my partner, tolerated the lifestyle, but I still communicated to him my boundaries. Guess what? He broke every promise, broke almost every boundary, and effed a woman in my bed without, informing me. That was definitely on the no-no list, and he knew it. To say that I was not amused is an understatement. He's gone. So anyhow, right then and there. This happened to another guy. Don't do it. Another guy says, how did living with her for those 9 months while broken up go? I'm thankful his mommy came to pick him up within the week. 200 pounds of dead weight gone. What a loser. 30-year-old with no savings, bad credit, debt, DUI, no vehicle. He needed a party, a big going away party. Oh, that was the guy from the first comment. Another guy says, I'm going to be frank. An open relationship is not something you go for in your relationship. Is having problems to try and make things better. If you do try when you're having a healthy, secure relationship, already you both want to explore some. Like if you guys are both healthy and has the same needs, then there should be no reason to look elsewhere for satisfaction. Yeah, if you're both truly in love with each other, you're not going to need anything else. And the only way it works is if both you were into that lifestyle prior to that. Another guy says, Your first problem was having an open relationship. They never, ever, ever, ever end well, as these stories always prove. Friends with benefits, open relationship, polyamorous, all that shit is just as easy bedroom access. This is always one of the many bad outcomes. You want bedroom fun and not a relationship? Take out some money and hire an escort. It's cheaper and less stressful. Anyway, if you want a relationship to place emotions and finances in, you only get one partner. Now I suggest you get some form of counseling or self-help from this before you rebound and either get hurt again or hurt someone else yourself. Yeah, it sounds like this guy could use a little bit of professional help on his own, but be careful there with who you choose. But this guy definitely needs some healing, but he obviously sounds very young, and because he talked about his girl having high school friends, so obviously this guy's probably in the college age, early 20s. But this is a very hard lesson he learned, but at least he learns this young, and hopefully this painful experience will help him later in life in terms of trusting women, make about the whole open relationship type of thing, avoid them like the plague, avoid women that want that, women wanting their cake and eat it too, respect, moving in with your girl, all these things. So if there's a silver lining, he learns the hard way early on so that he doesn't make this mistake when he's older and more invested in a relationship. But that sucks. But this is a situation. I just did a story now on the other channel about a guy who didn't go for this, and it was a good thing he didn't. But now here are in a situation where a guy did go for this, and look what she did. I mean, what he described there, what she did, yeah, it was disgusting. And I mean, no respect there. In his apartment, on the bed, no protection, in her, didn't clean the sheets. She's just begging him to break up with her, or just she has such low respect for him. She just wants to just toy with him. It's terrible. But anyhow, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below and know what you think about this. Guys, you ever have any crazy stories that you'd like to share? This definitely Warren is an example of one, or something you find online, or something you experienced, or something somebody you knew went through. By all means, email it to me. I got a link in the description to my email address, and if it's definitely good, I'll certainly use it in a future video. And as well as any crazy articles or anything, entertaining, whatever, send on over. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.